Hey there guys. Today we're going to be doing a combination of two videos to try to save on time here. We're going to be doing an unboxing video of this pistol, pretty much mainly just to show you how the pistol comes to you whenever you purchase one. And we'll also be doing a first impressions video. The firearm that we're going to be looking at today is the Arsenal Firearms AF1. If you're not familiar with Arsenal Firearms, they have no affiliation with the company that makes AK-47s. As a matter of fact, they are an Italian company. They are most notably famous for their double-barrel 1911s, which appeal to some people, I suppose. I'm not personally one of them. That's neither here nor there. The pistol that I'm going to be showing you was first introduced at the 2012 SHOT Show, and I followed it very closely up until I recently finally got my hands on one just a few weeks ago. Without further ado, we'll get into the actual video here. So this is the case that it comes in. It's, I would like to say, your standard hard case. However, it is a lockable case, which I hope you're able to see that, which is kind of neat, I suppose. We'll open it up and we'll take a look at what all they have given you here. This is the warranty registration card, and you also get a free Arsenal Firearms t-shirt whenever you send that in. This here is a little pamphlet. It is instructions on how to operate the pistol case. This, I believe, is, I didn't actually look over this, but just browsing over it, it is just a little flyer for defense attorneys. You can pay money and get on a group. I don't know if this is on frame or not, but they actually recommend a 500 round break-in for the Strike 1. Pretty much all it states is that fire factory ammunition for the first 100 rounds, oil it, put it back together, do that 5 times total, and after 500 rounds it's considered broken in, and you can completely field strip it and clean it. And as with any pistol that you see, or any firearm mostly that you buy new, there is the operations manual. Inside, it comes shipped with 2 magazines. Each holds 17 rounds of 9mm. This is a cleaning kit, and it also comes with arc oil, which is a CLP firearms cleaning kit, and it also comes with a spare magazine release. I will take this out and we will get on with the actual first impressions of it. If you look closely, it has seen use because I did have it at the range, so I can give somewhat of a proper first impressions video of it. The firearm itself has been safety checked. Now, whenever you first look at this pistol, and I get this a lot whenever I would show people pictures of it before I actually had the pistol, it does look kind of weird. To me, it mostly resembled a nice mix between a Glock and the Springfield XDM. I guess we could jump into ergonomics right into that while we're touching on what it looks like. The grip itself, I see a lot of people complaining about this grip, being that it is very narrow from where the beaver tail will be and all the way up until where the trigger is. It is more so narrow than a Gen 4 Glock with no backstrap inserted. Personally, it's not a problem for me. I have average sized hands, and I feel that it is very comfortable. And the grip texturing, it does look goofy. Could it be better? Absolutely, as can most pistols from the factory can be better. I feel that one of the best pistols from the factory, we're talking polymer, with grip texturing is the Gen 4 Glocks. That's one thing that they did get right on those. Moving on, and with ergonomics, we'll talk about the manual of arms. It's your standard semi-automatic pistol. And here is your slide release. Drop the mag out so we can operate this. And it is very easily manipulated. It is, I feel it is pretty much perfection, as it does not protrude too much from the firearm itself, yet it still offers a nice purchase for your thumb. And I ran 200 rounds through it my first trip out to the range. I haven't been back since, but I do, whenever I shoot, I do shoot with a high thumb as that, and I kind of wrote it on that, and I didn't have any problems with accidentally engaging the slide release on, like, say, the last round that was fired. While shooting there, I did some speed reloads from slide lock, and they're lightning fast. They really are. They're as fast as you can be, as the shooter can be. There's not going to be anything snagging you up. The mag well itself is beveled, as you can see, and there's nothing in there that can, the magazine's not going to hang up no matter which way you put it in. They did a very good job on that as well. The magazine base plate has this little skirt on it, and there's a cutout as well on the grip. So if, let's say your magazine gets stuck, you can strip it out with your finger. I guess that will pretty much do it for ergonomics. No, we might as well wrap in this. The magazine release as well, which is, it can be swatched. It can be switched to either the right or the left side. I'm a right-handed shooter, so I have it set up here. I am a little bit different than most people, as I operate the magazine release with my strong side middle finger, with my firing hand with the middle finger. Slide lock, I just operate it that way. I feel that they did an excellent job on that. Now, I don't have a proper holster for this to carry around yet. That's to come in the future, obviously. But I really don't see any. I don't see any. I guess what would you say? I don't see anybody accidentally engaging the magazine release to where it would just fall out if you're rolling over in the dirt and stuff like that. I mean, I'm pushing on it pretty hard, straight down. It really takes a dedicated press for the magazine to come out. Looking at it now, I guess we can move on to some more of the specifications of the firearm itself. It is a full-sized 9mm, meaning that it has a 5-inch barrel. It holds 17 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. I'll actually let you know now that the magazines themselves are made in Mekgar. They're made by Mekgar in Italy, and if you know anything about Mekgar mags, is that they are of some of the highest quality. I believe I said that this is chambered in 9mm, and the pistol itself, with a magazine inserted, an empty magazine inserted, weighs in at exactly 2 pounds. So like I said, it is a full-size pistol. I don't see many people carrying this concealed, although I'm sure some people will give it a try. Back onto my my range session with this. I fired a total of 200 rounds through it. I put about 150 myself, and a friend of mine put 50 of his through it. I was running this ammunition. This is standard full metal jacket ammunition, 9mm. I was running 124s. I had 0 malfunctions. Let me renege on that. I had 2 failures to fire, which after inspection, they were both light primer strikes. Can you credit that to the firearm itself? I don't know, is my honest answer. It only happened 2 times out of 200. So take that for what you will. My friend, on the other hand, he was shooting Tula ammo, and he happened to have 2, I guess you would say, malfunctions, which they weren't catastrophic malfunctions. What happened is he was shooting 115 grain Tula ammo, and twice it happened to him on the last round. The slide failed to lock back, and I'm crediting that to 2 things. Number 1, it is a new firearm. Some of the springs need broken in, and also number 2 is I guess it's not the best ammunition out there, although it does work perfectly fine in other of my firearms, such as my Glocks. It worked fine in the SIG that I ran it through. But moving on. The sights, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this on camera at all, but they are standard 3-dot combat sights. If you take a look here, the rear sight is actually part of the slide plate. So how you would have on a typical semi-automatic pistol, we'll use Glock for the standard reference, the slide plate and then the rear sight will be dovetailed in. On this pistol, the rear sight is fixed, as I stated, to the slide plate. Conversely, the front sight is dovetailed in. As this came from the factory, it was not shooting left, it was not shooting right, it was shooting perfectly straight as I could. And I'm not claiming to be the best shot, but I can't diagnose my trigger pulls and call my misses, and there were a few that I pulled. Speaking of pulls, we'll move on to the trigger itself. Now, maybe if I had long enough time to look at that side, if I've even held this steady that long. The trigger, which we will try to operate now for you. The trigger feels a little double action-ish for my liking. I hope that this is picking it up, but there is just a small amount of take-up, and then it goes back into... There's a little bit of grit right after that take-up to where it hits that wall that you want it to break at. So the take-up, it's a little bit of grit, which might be taken care of after maybe 1,000 rounds or so. We'll see. Right after that, it is a very nice trigger press. I don't have a scale to measure it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there and say it's 4 pounds, but then again, everybody says that, so don't take my word for it. But as I said, it is very double action-ish. I almost wish that they could have gotten a more of a single action feel out of this trigger. That's not to say that it's bad, because it is not bad by any means. It is a very good trigger. In firing it, I didn't notice. I did not notice that grit that I'm showing you right there. I didn't notice that at all. Throughout the trigger pull, if you really pay attention, it's a little gritty as well, but like I said, in firing it, in all fairness, I didn't notice it at all. It's very nice. As long as you do your part, it will do its part. Moving on from there, I would like to mention accuracy, but I didn't get a chance to put it on a bench and see what it can do for me. At 10 yards, myself, as I said, I'm not a good shot by any means, but I was able to put a magazine into a little bit bigger than my fist which I would call that maybe 7-inch group for myself. I mean, whatever, I'm okay with that. I would like it tighter. Yeah, everybody would. But whatever. Like I said, I'm not that good of a shot, but I'm still happy with where my shot placements are. So we spoke about the sights, the trigger, the magazine release. While we're here, I guess I will show you how the pistol field strips. First thing you would do is you would drop the magazine and you would do a chamber check. And chamber checks are a cinch on this. It's 10 times easier than many other pistols. So, no, nothing is loaded. We already did safety check. After that, point in a safe direction, squeeze the trigger, and this is your takedown pin. All this requires you to do is push it through to the other side, and it is a captive pin, which I'll show you, which means it's not going to fall out and it does not come out the rest of the way. After that, you just push from the back, and the slide comes off. If you want to take a look at which it looks kind of different than a lot of other pistols, especially the trigger mechanism, which you can see moving here. It looks fairly different than a lot of other pistols because it does not use the standard pistol designs. I'm not going to get into any technicalities on that because, well, I don't know, but I know that they used I guess what you could say, a proprietary design or an innovative design. It is dirty because, like I said, I have not cleaned it. They don't recommend you clean it until 500 rounds after it's broken in. If you look here, this is not your typical John Moses Browning tilt locking device for the operation of the pistol. This, the barrel does not tilt like most pistols do whenever it's actually operating. They actually claim that the pistol will slide horizontally backwards, or rather to the shooter. I think they said for approximately 2.5 millimeters, which allows it to pick up the next round. There's videos on this, guys, if you want to watch it. Just Google it. I'm not an expert. After you do take off the slide, everything is simple. The guide rod is plastic and it has a flat spring, a flat recoil spring. So you take that out. Your locking block comes out, and then the barrel comes out. Now this barrel still has factory lubrication on it, as well as a little bit more lubrication on it from me following the instructions that they gave me. And everything that is just reverse. You just reassemble it. It's very simple. I really, really, really like the design. Especially how quick it is to take it down with only just a push out a pin. If you're wondering if this can be put in wrong, it cannot. It will not go down the whole way if you try to put it in incorrectly. It will only go in one way, which is not even that way for some reason right now. Take you off camera for a moment. And after that, you just place it on the guide rails. You have to depress the slide back just a little bit, and the pin's back. You can do a function check. I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Oh no, actually, you know what? While we're here, let me talk about this. Another thing. Sorry. A big claim from the factory, with all the media and everything that they were doing for this, is the bore axis is very low. And if you look at it, it is very low. That's no bullshit. It's lower than a Glock, which is one of the lowest that you're going to get out there. And they claim that the recovery time from the slide operating and the recoil, because of the low bore axis, it will only muzzle will flip a percentage compared to other pistol designs. Now you can take that for what it's worth, but having shot this, there is a noticeable difference. There really is. The recoil is, I know it's 9mm and I'm about to say soft, but there's still some flip with 9mm, and with this, it is soft. The recoil is beautiful on it. Recovery shots, follow-up shots are lightning fast. You squeeze the trigger, slide comes back. Whenever that slide comes back forward, your sights are right back on target. So as I said, if you do your part, the pistol will do its part as well. I believe that's all I have for you now. If you have any more questions, I guess you can leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them as much as possible. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope this wasn't too terribly boring or too terrible just at that. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.